Trump just started a war he can't afford to lose, and Iran knows it. Okay, so day seven of the war, the President of the United States said would take 2 weeks, maybe less, for the Iran war. Now, 2 weeks, that's not a war plan, my friend. That's an Amazon Prime delivery estimate. And just like Amazon Prime, it's already late and something's on fire in a warehouse somewhere. Let's set the scene. Iran just released a video, not a statement, not a tweet, a video of a brigadier general walking through an underground missile depot like he's hosting an episode of MTV Cribs. This is where the missiles sleep. This is the West Wing. This is the East Wing. We got snacks. And the message is not subtle. It's Iran basically going, hey America, before we get any more ideas, take a look at the inventory. But here's the thing, nobody in the White House press room wants to say out loud, America is running low. There's an actual New York Times headline this week. Trump faces the limits of U.S. firepower and the lessons of past wars. Read that again. The limits of America, the country that spends more on its military than the next 9 countries combined, is being told gently by its own paper of record, hey buddy, you might be out of bullets. That's like watching Thanos snap and then someone whispers, sir, we only had budget for 3 stones. And then Reuters drop the headline right next to it. Trump threatens new war escalation and risks repeating old mistakes, which at this point should just be Trump's Spotify-wrapped top mistake of the year, escalation. Number 2, also escalation, but angrier. Here's the actual old mistake though, and it's a doozy. Trump's entire strategy is hurt them enough and they'll come crawling back to negotiate. Cool theory. Except, and share with me, this is the 3rd time America has blown up a deal with Iran. Not the first, the 3rd. Twice mid-negotiation and once after they literally signed an MOU. That's not diplomacy. That's the guy who calls you after the 2nd date and then slides into your DMs during a pandemic asking, hey, you around? So now, inside Iran's own government, you've got 2 camps. Camp A is like, let's talk, let's de-escalate. Camp B is standing right behind them going, talk? We tried talking 3 times, and they hit us with airstrikes as the ink was drying. You want to try a 4th time, Karen? And every time Camp A opens their mouth, Camp B just points at the smoking building behind them. Debate over. Now, let's talk about a fantasy map. Because Israeli media is out here circulating an AI-generated image, and I need you to picture this, an AI image, like something a guy makes in his mom's basement for a Fallout mod, showing this beautiful little plan where the US Navy handles the south, the Kurds invade from the north, the Baloch come in from the east, and everybody just sort of topples Iran like a Jenga tower. And then regime change happens, the end. Buddy, that's not a strategy. That's a school project made the night before it's due. You know what it actually takes to occupy a border that stretches hundreds of kilometers? 150,000 troops. And if you send that many troops in, you are losing tens of thousands of them. And America, a country that has a full-blown national meltdown when one soldier dies, is going to sign up for that? My guy, you couldn't get this country to agree on a mask mandate. You think they're ready for a 5-figure body count? Meanwhile, real world, not fantasy map. Iran has hit US-linked infrastructure across Kurdish areas, hit air defense depots, and set an entire mountain on fire that reportedly stored American defense equipment. And that's the tell. That's the actual chess move. Iran isn't just fighting. They're specifically going after America's eyes and hands, radar systems, air defense, weapons stockpiles. Because Iran knows exactly what the New York Times has told you for free. America's firepower has a ceiling. So blind them first, then fight the real fight. And here's where it gets wild. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical shipping choke points on planet Earth, used to see hundreds of ships pass through it daily. Yesterday, 8 ships. Today, 2 ships passed. Only 2 ships. And both of those 2 didn't get through because the US Navy escorted them. They got through because Iran led them. The White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, stood up and said, The strait is open for everybody. And global shipping companies collectively responded with the customer service equivalent of LOL, no. That right there, global shipping trusting Iran's word over the US Navy's protection. That's not a headline. That's an eulogy for American maritime dominance. Now, the escalation isn't staying in Iran anymore. It's going regional. Kuwait got hit, a power plant, a desalination plant. Bahrain got hit, American storage facilities. Jordan's Al Azraq Air Base got hit. And now, for the first time in 4 months, Saudi Arabia, the security blanket of the entire Gulf, just got a hole punched in it. And this is where Pakistan enters the chat, looking extremely nervous because Pakistan has been out here trying to play matchmaker for half the Middle East, telling Saudi Arabia stop bombing the Houthis, cutting oil deals with Kuwait in exchange for defense guarantees. Pakistan is basically the guy at the party who tells 5 different people he'll drive them home. Buddy, you have one car. You cannot defend Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and Bahrain while also managing your own economy, which, no shade, is being run by a guy in fatigues who thinks GDP stands for generally doing pretty good. Trust me. And now, if Kuwait calls in that favor against Iran specifically, Pakistan is stuck choosing between the money and the neighbor with the missile inventory video. And then Iran drops a line that should be sending shivers to Mar-a-Lago. We are done hitting just military bases. We are going after anything tied to Trump personally. His properties, his hotels, his AI ventures, which means every Gulf state hosting Trump-branded anything just became a targeting priority. Dubai, the city where you used to be able to walk in and get hired in an afternoon, is running layoffs right now because business is drying up. And what is the president doing about the global economy shaking? Reports say he told people he'd sell his Truth Social stake for $100 million, an hour before post-market moving policy, so insiders could trade ahead of it. So while the Gulf burns and shipping collapses and allies panic, the guy in charge is out here running his own insider trading desk out of the Resolute desk. And the final piece, America is now flying refueling tankers into Israel, which means one of 2 things. Israel's about to launch its own strikes, or the US just admitted its Middle East bases are too damaged to keep operating from, so they need Israeli soil instead. Either way, that's not de-escalation, that's reinforcements. So no, this isn't winding down. This is climbing the escalation ladder, one dangerous rung at a time, with a president who thinks firepower is a personality trait and a region that's about 30 minutes from a full-blown regional war. So that's all in this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and please subscribe to the channel for more such videos.